You ever get brought in by the police, stopped by the police, taken to the station, you don't say a damn word except, I want an attorney.
My case is a little bit different from many false confession cases. In most false confession cases, the police isolate a suspect and pressure him, and then after days, the suspect gives up and just tells the police whatever they want to hear. That was not the case with me. I went into that police station when they brought me there, intending to give a false confession. We were taken into custody on June 5th, 1986. I was interrogated for a total of 9 times over 4 days. During my confession, I made a number of serious mistakes. I got Nancy Hasem's clothing completely wrong. I said she was wearing jeans, but in fact, she was wearing a long housecoat with pajamas. I told the police that I cut their throats, and I specifically said I did not stab them. But in fact, they were stabbed, I believe, 38 times. Again, the real killer would have remembered stabbing 2 people 38 times, but I got that wrong. Somebody washed off blood in the showers. This was nowhere in my confession because I didn't know about it. Another crucial error in the story is there were 4 blood types found at the crime scene. The 2 victims' blood types, A and AB, and then also blood type O and blood type B. The false confession I told them was that I killed Derek and Nancy Hasem by myself. So there should really have only been 3 blood types at the crime scene. There was no explanation in my story for the 4th blood type. The police should have been very suspicious about my false confession, but the police wanted to solve the case at the expense of getting it right.
You know, it's amazing that, he actually starts the ball rolling by doing this voluntary confession. I mean, you just get in trouble. And, Jason said it, and you can ask my staff, because I've spent most of my professional career in the litigation arena. I've told everybody here, I don't care what happens. You ever get brought in by the police, stopped by the police, taken to the station, you don't say a damn word except, I want an attorney. Seriously, if they say to you, listen, you're just a witness. You were just standing there when this happened. You're just a witness. I'm not reading your rights because you're not a suspect. You're just a witness. If you just tell us what you saw, then you can go home. I'm sorry to inconvenience you. Can you just give us a statement of what you saw? I want a lawyer. You don't need a lawyer. You're just a witness. You were just driving by. I want a lawyer. What, is there something we don't understand? Did you do something we don't know? Why do you want a lawyer? If you didn't do anything wrong, you don't need a lawyer. Come on. Just tell us what you saw. I want a lawyer. Everybody has an agenda. Don't say anything. Nothing. Zip. Zero. Nada. Is your name Carol? I want a lawyer. Your name Bob? I want a lawyer. Right?
Absolutely. That's it. Because it's amazing. They can weave a web that you can't get out of, and you get to a point where you don't see any other options. And they'll interrogate you for 20 hours, keep you there, whatever. You also can, in many cases, you can go home. You can just say, I want to go home. They're going to let you go home. You don't know that, though, so they just keep you there.
The whole litigation system is geared to overpower the defendants. In court, I mean, you go in, there's a judge that's elevated, got a big seal behind him or her, flags on either side. There's armed guards that the judge is ordering around. And, then you walk in and sit down like a wet cat, what's going on? That's why, I said I worked in trial sciences, which is more than just jury selection. And one of the most important things that we ever did is I developed something called the Witness Bill of Rights, in teaching witnesses what their rights are. And it absolutely changes the whole dynamic in the courtroom. And 99.999999% of the people have no idea what those are. But you have rights as a witness and the ability to take control of the interrogation. And if you're trained in that way, you can control the situation, but most people aren't. And that's how some of these people get in these situations. Well, hey there, thanks so much for watching. And while I have you, do you have a story or a question for me? If so, I do want to hear from you. Click on the link in the description and tell me what's going on. You just might end up right here with me on the show. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. Click that little red button below. You know you want to. What are you waiting for? Do it!